Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to our last episode from the Carnage Arena. It's coming close. It's coming very close. Shabby Mania is nigh, people. Shabby Mania is nigh. But what have we got to finish things off with Carnage? What a terrible intro that was. Right then, we're going to start things off then with Killian Dain, of course, representing Sanity. He'll be taking on Alberto Del Rio. And here we go then. Going to try and make up things after that terrible intro by getting on track here this evening. I don't know what happens to me there. The problem is I never write this stuff before I go, so literally I sit here, I prepare everything, and then I just hit record and just go for it. So a lot of the time, just, yeah, verbal diarrhea comes fly out my mouth, and it all goes a bit wrong, doesn't it, sometimes? There we go. So yeah, like I said, this is the last episode then of Carnage before we hit Shabby Mania. Tonight for you, we've got a few top matches. We've already seen a couple of dark matches though. We had Triple Threat versus the Impact players with 2 Gold Scorpio, which is a win for the Impact players and 2 Gold Scorpio. There was also a Triple Threat match between Aerostar, Psychosis and La Parka, which was won by La Parka. And of course, like I said, starting things off here then with Killian Dain versus Alberto Del Rio. We've also got Jaki Numazawa versus Kasai versus Hayabusa in a Triple Threat Extreme Rules match. Chris Hero takes on Oney Lorcan. Just Incredible versus Stevie Richards. And our main event this evening is going to be Lynn taking on Sabu. So a packed, actionful night for you. But of course the main attraction is going to start in, is it 2 days time? Yeah, 2 days time, the 29th of September. We will have for you the first Shabby Mania. Shabby Mania Mayhem on the 29th. On the 30th, Shabby Mania Octane. On the 1st of October, Shabby Mania Throwdown. The 2nd of October, Shabby Mania Adrenaline. And on the 3rd of October, Shabby Mania Carnage. And then, of course, we're also going to have a Royal Rumble from each brand as well, just to see who will be staying on their brand for next year. That's an interesting one, that, as well. So, of course, anyone who's a champion or aligned alongside a champion will stay on the brand. And I will say now that a few of these people that are aligned with the champions could change by the draft. We'll go through that when the draft happens, though, of course. But, yeah, we'll take into that account that anyway. We'll have a look at... For example, we know that we want to use Adam Cole and Red Dragon and Tainara Conte as a stable on 2K18. At the moment, Red Dragon's on one brand, so if they retain the Throwdown Championships, Throwdown Tag Team Championships, then that means that Adam Cole and Tainara Conte will make their way into Throwdown as well. So yeah, it's just sort of things like that that will change. There's a few stables changing. I need to try and smooth things out and make things better and smoother. So, like I said, we'll go through a lot of that by the time we get through to the draft. We'll know exactly what we're doing. Sanity's going to stay exactly as it is because we do get Sawyer Fulton, which I'm so happy about. I don't know why. Sawyer Fulton, for me, was the biggest plus of the whole draft because he was the one person I really wasn't expecting, but one person I was always going to download. Because, as I said before, I really want to use Killian Dain as a upper mid-card on his own, which is essentially what we're using him for here on Carnage. But of course, if Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton are the tag team, that allows Killian Dain the space to go off and do what he needs to do in the singles, while also allowing Eric Young to try and push towards the main event picture as well. It's going to be tricky for him. Del Rio slamming the arm of Killian Dain into the mat now. Big boot right in the spine as well. Del Rio bringing Dain back up again. Another kick right in the spine. Into the pin, one. Only a 1 count. Del Rio now DDT. Face first, Dain goes into the mat. As Del Rio stomps right in his face and went for it again, but Dain avoided it. Del Rio now catching Dain. There's the forearm. Now Dain bringing Del Rio forward into a belly-to-belly suplex. And Killian Dain is a very effective wrestler. How old Killian Dain is, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure, but he's a very effective wrestler. And he's having a great run at the moment. Of course, we saw him at that match with Drew McIntyre not too long ago. for the #1 contendership to the Bobby Roode's title. And it surprised me because I didn't realise at that point in time that Killian Dain was undefeated, or unpinned and unsubmissioned. He had lost matches by disqualification, I think, hadn't he? But yeah, it was interesting. I didn't realise he was in that sort of a run, and it would be interesting to see if this is what NXT do when Sawyer Fulton returns from his injury. Whether he comes back into Sanity and Killian Dain then gets pushed on to a more singles run, which I think is what they need to do a little bit more, is have that upper mid-carder. Have that guy who can push on a bit more in a stable. Because the thing is, if you've got a free, you've got a champion, you've got a tag team as well, you sort of lose that. What is this all about? Why is that popped up for? I'm not even in this match. Why is it telling me how to do stuff? Why is it even... I had this game on for a year. Why is it giving me tutorials now? I have no idea. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. DDT there by Alberto Del Rio to the face of Mr. Killian Dain, slamming him face first into the mat, that is. Del Rio clubbing blow against the back of Dain, now into that reverse suplex. Dain catching the leg of Del Rio and takes him into a dragon screw. Killian Dain now slamming the arm of Alberto Del Rio into the mat as well. And Dain heading to the outside and just trying to get in between his Sanity teammates, trying to get a bit of a pep talk, trying to plan out his action a bit further forward. Went for the ace crusher, but Del Rio pushes him away. Dain now takes... No, Del Rio fights away from the gut wrench suplex and takes Killian Dain down his own way. And Del Rio now stalking Dain, looking for that armbar. He gets it locked in. The cross arm breaker there by Del Rio. And Killian Dain taps out and Alberto Del Rio picks up the victory. This could be the last time we ever see Del Rio in SWE. Who knows? Who knows at this point in time? There's a chance we might see him next year. Who knows? It's all up in the air at the moment. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing at the moment. But that's a great win there for Killian Dain. I must admit, I partly expected Lopaka to win this one. Lopaka? He wasn't even in the match, so I'm looking at my piece of paper. I expected Killian Dain to win this one, especially with the likes of Sawyer Fulton and Alexander Wolf at ringside as well. I thought they'd be able to push on a little bit more, but well done to Del Rio, I suppose. Can't take away from him. He's done really well there. Really well. And making Killian Dain tap out is not going to be an easy feat. It's not going to be something that a lot of people are ever going to do. But yeah, of course, we are not going to see Killian Dain again, I don't think, by the looks of it. We might see Dain again, we don't know yet. If Sanity lose the Tag Team Championships at Shabby Mania, then we will see Sanity again. If they do not lose the belts at Shabby Mania, then this will be the last of Killian Dain in SWE 2K17. And of course, he'll be ready to fight hard on 2K18, of course, as part of the Carnage brand. And here is our second match of the evening. A bit of a BJW special, I suppose, if you look at it that way. It's a triple threat Extreme Rules match. We've got Kasai on the left, Jaki Numazawa in the middle, and Hayabusa on the right. And here we go. This is a King of the Deathmatch style match here, and we will try and utilise these people again in 2K18. It's going to be a case of see if we can get a hold of them. That's the thing. It's been quite lucky here to have someone who's quite a good core maker make these three guys. Oh, Hayabusa is someone we're going to probably get anyway, isn't it? Hayabusa is not generally an issue. But Kasai and Jaki Numazawa, I looked for Kasai for a few years, and it wasn't until this game that I found one that I thought was genuinely quite good. And then just stumbling across Jaki Numazawa here as well. It was a bit of a surprise to me when I saw him because, say, he worked BJW and he also worked... I know him because I watched a couple of Combat Zone Wrestling's Tournament of Death, and he was part of one of those a few years back, so that's how I know him. And I was surprised to see him on there, and I was quite pleasantly surprised because he's given us a very useful addition to our hardcore roster. And I think that's what we'll push a little bit more in 2K18 is going to be Carnage's hardcore roster. And I feel like I sort of want to make the hardcore division a separate division, so it's going to have its own rankings. And they're not going to get too involved with other people that are not hardcore wrestlers as such, but, you know, it's going to be a big mix of everything, I think, isn't it, on on 2K18. We'll have to just wait and see what happens, wait and see what cores are going to be available early on. Of course, I've got the special edition of the game, so chances are I won't be able to download any cores for the first few days. Because not many people are going to be on there creating them, are they? So it's going to be a case of grabbing what I can when I can, I suppose, if you look at it that way. But I should imagine people like the Hardy Boys are going to be created very early. Shelton Benjamin and Dradician Almas, as well as Drew McIntyre, Alistair Black, Heavy Machinery. Yeah, all these guys are going to be created pretty quickly in, aren't they? Just to get people downloading the cores. They'll be done pretty quickly. And then maybe, is there anyone else on NXT that we haven't got? Maybe Aliyah, Liv Morgan. That's Sonya Deville. A lot of the Mae Young Classic people as well are probably get created quite early on. And then you'll have your normal ones. You'll have your Sabu on there, I should imagine, and Terry Funk, and CM Punk will be on there straight away as he normally is. Hulk Hogan as well. We'll get everyone we want, I think, in the long run. As here comes Hayabusa then, rocking Finn Balor's entrance, which is always useful. Now, I know I mentioned it in my previous video, but I still can't believe the fact that Finn Balor and Demon Finn Balor are separate characters on the game. It frustrates me so much. Because it's completely going to throw off. It means if I use Demon Finn Balor, he's not going to have the momentum that standard Finn Balor's built up. And that, for me, is a problem, because it just doesn't... It's not going to work very well doing it that way. The whole point of Finn Balor's character is that you use... The Demon comes up for special appearance, and the Demon is going to be a more effective unit, I suppose. But I suppose Demon Balor is going to have a higher rating, probably. Maybe that's a good way of doing it, actually. Maybe that could work. Maybe just having normal Finn Balor as like an 87, then having Demon Finn Balor at like 92 or something stupid like that. That might just work. So like at a pay-per-view, he's a lot more effective. So you can win the big ones, but he just not as good in normal shows. Maybe, I don't know. It's an idea. It is an idea. It'd be like years ago when Gregory Helms was around. It'd be like having the Hurricane and Gregory Helms as separate characters. You just wouldn't be able to build up the momentum on both at the same time, which would be the problem, really, for me. Because it just means that, yeah, it just doesn't run. So, for example, like if you use the standard Finn Balor, if you've won 4 or 5 matches in a row, you've got a lot of momentum, and you're a lot more likely to win the next match. That's how you build yourself up and you go for the championship. However, if you change then to a different version of the character, if you change to a different attire, it's not a problem, but change to a different version of the character, and there's a big problem. So see, they did it this year. I don't know why they haven't done the same thing, because my only worry would be is that obviously they've got different entrances. The Demon Finn Balor is a bit more of a spectacular entrance, so that's the only issue for me, but we'll have to figure it out as we go along, I suppose. Maybe I'll have to build up the momentum of the other one. Give him a few dark matches to build up his momentum, then be able to use it a bit better. Hayabusa there now, the Michinoku driver on Jaki Numazawa. And this is a big one, of course. None of these 3 guys are going to be involved in the Hardcore Championship match at Shabby Mania, but the winner of this will get a chunk of rating points, which will definitely help them out moving forward into the new draft, because it's going to push their chances of getting in the draft, and also push their chances of getting themselves a Hardcore Championship match when the new Universe mode starts, because of course there's a lot of new people are going to be entering the Universe mode. Myself and PJ Toby have come up with a list of around about 210 names now that we want to download core-wise, which is a big problem as it is, because you only get 100 per save file. I'm going to have to end up creating more accounts on the PlayStation, creating more email addresses to have the accounts on. It's going to get very messy for me. But at the same time, it's going to be good, I think. We're going to literally have something for everyone. And we have that sort of thing here at the moment. We have something for everyone as it is anyway. It's just, yeah, it's a... I don't know. We'll do well, I think. We're getting there. If you look at the list we've got, it's literally got everything there. It's got deathmatch, Japanese wrestling, it's got Mexican wrestling, it's got British, it's got European. I've got a bit of Shikara in there, a bit of PWG, Ring of Honor, TNA, Global Force Wrestling, which are separate entities once again. Lucha Underground, AAA, CMLL, BJW, New Japan, Noah. It's got literally everything in there. Oh, Jaki Numazawa just got dropped on his head by Jun Kasai. And Hayabusa caught Kasai with a big kick, and a Hayabusa stalking Kasai. Takes him up. Oh, here we go. Brainbuster Michinoku driver. 1, 2, and 3. And no, to 2. I thought that was a 3 there by Hayabusa. I thought he had this one 1 already. That would have been a quick match. That would have been, wouldn't it? Would have been a very good win for him, but a very quick match at the same time. Boot in the gut by Hayabusa. Numazawa takes him, catches him, takes him up. Looking for a... Ooh, I thought it was going to be a Michinoku driver, but changes it into a shoulder breaker. And now wrenches back at the arm while dropping the elbows right in the chest of Hayabusa. And I think very much who's involved in these triple threat matches really makes a massive difference. We've had a few the last few days where there have been females. And they just haven't worked as well. And I think it's because the females are genuinely a bit slower on the game. They don't have quite as high stats. So it's that's probably the reason why, because it means that when someone's on the floor, their recuperation time is quicker than the time it takes for someone in the ring to hit their finish maneuver and go for the pin. It's a little bit annoying, really. Whereas with the men, it's a little bit different to that. They seem to have a bit higher pace, and that's the case for a lot of things. It's not better or worse, I suppose, if you look at it that way. It's just a different style, and it's the same with women's football. If you ever watch women's soccer, that's very much the same. Women's soccer is a lot slower than male soccer. It's just the style that they play, I suppose, isn't it? Jaki Numazawa then working over the back of Jun Kasai, bringing them back up. Look at the scars on the back of both these guys. They've been through some shit, these guys. I know I brought this story up a few times, but it's also the reason why Dean Ambrose has to wear a vest, because his back is covered in barbed wire scars. There you go, a bit of used information. Dean Ambrose put on Twitter on his first day at the Performance Center, "It's so embarrassing walking into the doctors and having to explain your barbed wire scars." Hayabusa now taking Numazawa into a big Uranage style slam. Now Hayabusa heading up top. Hayabusa thinking about it, and then goes for a moonsault. Of course, Hayabusa, I believe, does utilise the Phoenix Splash. It's only a 2 count there by Hayabusa on Numazawa. Kasai's up, but Hayabusa catches him in the Michinoku driver. Hayabusa looked incredibly good in this match. He really has. And I feel like Hayabusa should be someone who will be definitely involved in that Hardcore Championship picture. See, I don't feel like the likes of... we've got the likes of Just Incredible and Tommy Dreamer and them sort of people. I don't feel like they're going to be involved in the Hardcore Championship. I think the Hardcore Championship should be a lot more hardcore than what they ever were, to be honest with you. Like these guys here. These guys are steps and steps ahead of the hardcore you used to get in ECW, really. Shooting star press there by Hayabusa. Kasai getting caught by Hayabusa, taking him down. Fisherman suplex by Hayabusa, bridges for the pin. Referee! My God, the referee! 1, 2. The referee has just cucked Hayabusa once again. But Hayabusa now powerbomb and stacking Jaki Numazawa up. And again, it's only a 2, but Hayabusa rolls Numazawa over into the Boston Crab, and there's the tap out. And Hayabusa really deserved that victory. He dominated this match from start to finish. This man has looked incredible, and definitely one of the first people we'll be looking to bring in to the hardcore division here on Carnage. I can feel it. He looked outstanding here today. Should have won the match on many occasions. Many occasions. And eventually, it took the powerbomb and the Boston Crab to do it. Here's the powerbomb. After he just pinned Kasai and got a 2-count out of it, but it would have been a 3 if it weren't for Numazawa breaking it up. Numazawa kicked out of the powerbomb pin, but the that's such a painful variation of the Boston Crab as well. Just him holding Numazawa further up the legs. It's a lot more painful that way because you're wrenching that back a lot more than what you normally would do. And there we go then. Hayabusa is victorious. He's going to get himself the ranking points. Of course, it's a triple threat, so it's worth 10 ranking points. It's definitely going to give him a nice push moving forward into 2K18. And here is our next match of the evening. It is going to be Oney Lorcan taking on Chris Hero. And here we go. It's going to be an interesting one, this one. I sort of like this this strong start aspect. We've had quite a bit of it. Last week we had Timothy Thatcher versus Daisuke Sekimoto. And tonight, Chris Hero versus Oney Lorcan. I'm a bit shocked, really, to be honest, that Oney Lorcan... Well, I wasn't shocked as such, but I thought that Oney Lorcan would have been a shout for 2K18. He has been on the main NXT roster now for quite some time, and I just thought that he might have got a bit more of a push this year, but, you know... Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. He's getting more of a push now in NXT in general, isn't he? Of course, it looks like he's going to end up starting a tag team with Danny Burch, which I think is going to be awesome. Those two guys together... Some of my favourite matches in NXT of recent have been Oney Lorcan versus Danny Burch. The two of them are just so brutal together. They've got real stiff strikes, and I think just seeing more of them together is going to be awesome. And if they come out as a tag team now, that'd be interesting as well. Depends who they go up against, I suppose. But I don't know if they'll have. I don't know who it's going to be that takes the belts. So they already have, haven't they? So I just completely ruined my own sentence there by realising that what I was about to say was completely wrong. I was going to say I don't know who's going to take those belts away from Authors of Pain, but Sanity's already done it, haven't they? So it looks like it might end up being Sanity versus the Undisputed Era at NXT TakeOver. We don't know yet because there's still another set of tapings yet, isn't there? But it would look maybe that way. It wouldn't surprise me if the next pay-per-view in NXT is going to be an Undisputed Era takeover, with Adam Cole becoming the NXT champion, with Red Dragon becoming the tag team champions, and with Tainara Conte becoming the women's champion. It would not surprise me at all if that happened. Although we don't know what's going to happen yet. The tapings haven't been done that far ahead, so we don't even know. We know 3 parts. I'm going to talk a little bit of spoiler-wise here. It's not massive spoilers, but it's not. It's going to be the who are in the matches at NXT TakeOver. We know. I don't think we know much yet. I think we know it's going to be a fatal 4 for the Women's Championship. And Kairi Sane was the first person announced for that, of course, being the Mae Young Classic winner. She's been announced for that already. I think it's also Peyton Royce. And also... See, this is the problem. I've forgotten who it is now. Well, they only announced 3 people, and the 4th has not yet been announced, so I don't quite know what they're going to do with that at the moment, to be honest with you. It's a little bit up in the air at the moment to what they're going to do. I'm sure they know what they're going to do. Maybe it's a backstage segment that's put the 4th and final member in that match, or maybe it is something to do with... Yeah, maybe it is something to do with certain people. I'm trying to tell you stuff without telling you spoilers at the same time, you know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be interesting. It could be Tainara Conte. It could have been all done backstage. Then again, me just saying that name is a little bit of a spoiler, I suppose. It's not much of a spoiler, is it? Let's face it. But... Dropkick there then by Oney Lorcan. I like Tainara Conte. If you don't know who it is I'm talking about, she was in the Mae Young Classic. Can't remember who she faced off against first round, but she lost in the first round. But she was very, very good in the process. Very clean, very athletic wrestler. I think she's also a black belt in a martial arts. She's Brazilian, so it might be like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or something like that. She's a black belt in that, so it's she's a very accomplished and very athletic individual. And she's just got a real mean streak about her. She's just got a heel persona. I don't know if she can speak English or not, but she's got a real heel persona going on about her. She's very good. And if they just had her as sort of like this female, sort of like death machine as such, that doesn't talk, the people around her do her talking for her, they just literally unleash her and she goes off and does the damage. That could be a really interesting way of doing it. And it could very much work. It happens a lot in the male rosters, doesn't it? Where they have somebody who's just a bit of a monster, goes around causing a lot of pain, a lot of terror, and they just have basically a voice for them. It could be exactly the same in this situation. 2 count there for Oney Lorcan over Chris Hero, or we're going to have to get used to Cassius Ohno, I suppose. He is permanently on the game for 2K18, so we're not going to have to download a core, which is a good thing because we can never seem to get a good core of Cassius Ohno. I mean, like, this is the best one as such. I think there's slightly better faces around, but this is the one with the best... No, there isn't actually. No, this is the best face. Because I was looking to get a Cassius Ohno, to be honest with you, but this had the best face, so I went for this one. So, yeah, it's good to have him actually on the game. It means we're not going to have to worry about all this crap anymore with downloading cores of him, because we've never had a good one, have we, really? Never had a good one. Bobby Roode again, another same one. We'd never had a really good Bobby Roode, and now we're not going to need to because he's already on the game with his glorious entrance. Drop kick to the side of the head there by Chris Ohno. Yep, Chris Ohno. Who drops a boot right in the back of the arm of Oney Lorcan as well. Big boot right in the spine. Oney Lorcan gets caught now. Saito suplex by Cassius Ohno, who stamps on the arm of Lorcan. And boots him right in the face. I think he might have busted open there, you know. Oh, this bloody computer. Cassius Ohno now lines him up. Big boot. Normally a discus, that big boot, isn't it? But either way, it's very effective. And there's the pin. Cassius already busted open Oney Lorcan, but Lorcan is not yet finished off. We know how resilient this man is, and he's proven it right here. Cassius now dragging Lorcan middle of the ring. Now drop... Oh no. Very cocky there by Cassius. So it looked like he was going to go for a knee or something on them sort of lines, but didn't go for it in the end. But now stalking the grounded Oney Lorcan. Into the neck breaker position and changes it up. Into the rolling, roaring elbow right in the back of the head. 2. And no, again. Oney Lorcan kicks out. Wow. Okay, this is all coming up a bit of nowhere here from Oney Lorcan. Ohno rolling Lorcan over, dropping an elbow right on the inside of the knee. Hero then over the top with the natural selection style cutter. I don't know what that's called. I always just call it the natural selection style cutter. As Lorcan backs away into the corner now, just taking a breather. Trying to see how things are going. He's got a bit of control now. Gets a suplex. And Lorcan, if he can pull a victory off here, it's going to be insane. Oh, half and half suplex. Lorcan with a pin on Cassius Ohno. 1, 2. Oh, and Cassius Ohno kicks out now as well. Freaking hell. What is going on in this world? What is going on? These two guys, none of them want to give up. Lorcan sending Ohno into the corner. Oh, big stiff uppercuts. Sending him into the far side. Another big uppercut as well. And Lorcan just launching these big stiff uppercuts in the corner. And a running drop kick as well. Lorcan, I don't know where he got all this from. He's just all of a sudden in control. Lorcan, I think he was thinking about a springboard there, but seemed to have fought up against it. Into the overcastle, beautiful move. 1, 2, and again so close to 3. Can't believe it, Lorcan. I can't believe it. Actually, there's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth this match. And Lorcan's really showing off his resilience. Got hammered at the beginning, got busted open. And there is another reverse half and half suplex. 2. And only Lorcan's only gone and done it. Wow, that is a big win, that is, for Lorcan. Possibly the biggest win he's had so far on Carnage, if not the biggest win. I think that probably is his biggest win, really. Defeating someone who we consider to be a main eventer, especially moving into 2K18 as well. Definitely I would consider Chris Hero, or Cassius Ohno, whatever you want to call him these days, a main eventer. And Cassius dominated the early parts. Caught Lorcan with that neck breaker into the roaring elbow, which is of course his finisher maneuver. Also busted him open as well. But Lorcan's resilience, it's sort of like when he saw his own blood, he just became a new man. And there it was. The half and half suplex for the second time in the match. After pounding Cassius Ohno with uppercut after uppercut after uppercut in the corner, only Lorcan is victorious. And what a win that is for Lorcan. I'm highly impressed by what I've just seen. Highly impressed by what I've just seen. So well done to Oney Lorcan. Top lad. Top lad. And here is our next match of the evening. It is going to be Just Incredible taking on Stevie Richards. And here we go. Then a bit of ECW classic for you now then. Stevie Richards versus Just Incredible. We've not seen either of these guys a lot. You know what? We buggered this up, haven't we? Just Incredible's wrestled twice tonight then. There you go. Oh no, yeah, he has, yeah. Has he? Yeah. Yeah, he's part of the Impact Players, isn't he? There you go. So he's going to be a little bit knackered out, old PJ Polacco. He wrestled in the dark match earlier on, but that doesn't matter, does it? The thing is, if I hadn't said that, you wouldn't even known, would you? You wouldn't have even known. Yeah, it's a cool match. I used to really like Just Incredible actually in ECW. But something about him was just quite cool. Of course, he had a much better time in ECW than he ever did in WWE. When he like some sort of Puerto Rican dodgy gimmick, wasn't he? Old PJ Tovey had know off the top of his head straight away. He loves all that sort of stuff. It's old PJ Tovey. He had some dodgy gimmick. I'm sure he was under a mask, wasn't he? I can't remember now. And here then comes big Stevie Cool, Stevie Richards. Rocking his BWO attire, of course. Part of the BWO stable. They've done pretty well actually so far. BWO, they've actually done a lot better than I thought they were going to. They did pick up a victory last week in a dark match against the LAX. So they have definitely done really, really well for themselves. So Stevie here, rocking the Kevin Nash gimmick with the Shawn Michaels entrance and the NWO music. Really spanning many parts of WWE's history. WCW's history. Or wrestling's history in general, I suppose. It'd be interesting to see which one of these two guys... On paper, I don't know, on paper. I used to like Steven Richards, I must admit. Apart from his time as in Right to Censor, when I absolutely hated him, and I suppose that what makes a really good heel, I suppose, isn't it? I absolutely hated Right to Censor. Him, the Good Father, there's a Bull Buchanan, Ivory, all in that stable. I absolutely hated it, but I suppose that's what made it such a good stable, I suppose. Here we go, we are underway then. Two ECW originals going to show what they've got to give here in SWE. As Stevie to the outside straight away, I think he was thinking of looking for a weapon there. And this is of course, as all matches are, or most matches are in Carnage, this is no disqualification. No countouts. So should one of these two guys decide they want to utilise a weapon, then go for it. It's your prerogative, my friends. You want to use a weapon, you absolutely go for it. I'm not going to stop you. In fact, I'd probably encourage you. Just incredible, waiting for Stevie to get back up to his feet and catching there with the double axe handle. And now a big boot in the chest of Stevie as well by Just Incredible, who's now taken the top off the turnbuckle pad. Just Incredible bringing Stevie back up to his feet, and Stevie sending Incredible off the ropes. Both guys trying to shoulder block each other down and just running into each other. Neither strong enough to take the other one down at this point in time. Stevie taking Just Incredible up into a pile driver. Stevie now with a backbreaker as well. Stevie heading under the ring. Like I said, no disqualifications here. Should he want to utilise a little bit of hardware, he can do so. He's found himself a table, which he's going to use as a blunt object like they always do. I'd love it if he actually put the table in the ring and used it as an actual table. That'd be great. But it never quite happens, does it, normally? It has happened once or twice, though. On rare occasions. Rare special occasions, like bar mitzvahs and so forth. Straight off the ring post there by Stevie Richards on Just Incredible, dominating here on the outside. Just Incredible now reverse DDT on Stevie Richards. I quite like this camera angle, you know. I like the idea of sitting in the crowd watching the match. And that's essentially what you've got here. You're sat in the crowd watching the match. It's pretty cool. I like it. Incredible now bringing Richards back up to his feet. So the game's not very intelligent. It won't realise that it will try and just go direct into the ring. It hasn't got the intelligence to... Oh, nice Russian leg sweep into the barricade. It doesn't have the intelligence to think, I can't throw you straight in the ring right now because the ring post is there. And this is case in point right here. There you go. Incredible trying to throw him into the ring, but instead it couldn't do it direct, so he ends up throwing him into the ring post. It's just... It happens quite often in this game. It's a little bit annoying, really. Clubbing blow across the chest and a boot to the side of the head of Stevie Richards, and Just Incredible now stalking Richards. Do you have a jumping tombstone power driver? He did have a tombstone power driver as his finishing maneuver. And there's the pin on Stevie Richards. 1, 2, and 3. And Just Incredible does pick up the victory. Good win for him as well, actually. And it's also a good win for the Impact players because, of course, because both these guys are part of a tag team, it means that Just Incredible will be able to get himself 5 points against the Impact players' rankings here on this Universe mode. Of course, we're not 100% sure yet what is going to happen on 2K18 with these guys. Will the BWO, will the Impact players, will they be part of Carnage again? Only time will tell at this point in time. However, there's one way to guarantee your position, and that is by winning the Royal Rumble, which comes up for you after Shabby Mania. And here we go then, time for your main event of the evening. Jerry Lynn takes on Sabu. And here we go then. Main event of the evening. Now we do have scheduled for Shabby Mania Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn in a tables match. It'd be pretty cool, isn't it, really? Of course, RVD and Jerry Lynn, famous for their bouts they used to have in ECW and across everywhere, really. They had a lot of bouts everywhere, didn't they? And of course, that was the match that they did redo at the TNA ECW Revival show. What was it called? I'm just looking at my shelf now so I can see it. I have got it somewhere. Hardcore Justice? I think it was Hardcore Justice, wasn't it? Hardcore Justice. Which is pretty cool. I think it was supposed to be RVD versus Sabu, to be honest. but Sabu got injured beforehand and it changed to RBD versus Jerry Lynn. And that's the match we're going to see then at Shabby Mania. Or should we have RBD versus Sabu versus Jerry Lynn? At the moment, Sabu's not booked at the moment yet. You know what, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm changing the matchup. We are going to do it. Where's my pen? I need my pen. RVD versus Sabu versus Jerry Lynn. Triple threat tables match at Shabby Mania. There you go. It's booked. That is how you book a show, my friends. I do just love capes on this game. They're fantastic, aren't they? Oh, it's gone back round again. Capes, they've made it clever. They made capes independent. And they're more intelligent. And they go where they should go. But they don't go where they should go, do they? That's the problem. They go where they shouldn't go. Look, there he goes again. No, over the shoulder, no. It sort of half makes sense. But not completely. That's fine now, I suppose. It's working okay. You can't take the cape off him. The cape is what makes him him. So we got then Jerry Lynn versus Sabu live on Carnage. Carnage. That was me doing Sega on the Carnage. Carnage voice of Sega. Headlock takedown then by Jerry Lynn on Sabu. Sabu, big right hands catching Jerry Lynn. Sabu just booting Jerry Lynn right across the chest. Taking a breather in the turnbuckle. Jerry Lynn back up. Thinking it's caught him out. And Jerry Lynn able to take some control in the match. Sabu now dropping double boots right on the side of the face. Sabu stalking Jerry Lynn, looking potentially for a springboard. Went for the springboard crossbody, but Jerry Lynn able to boot in the gut of Sabu now. Lynn bringing Sabu back up to his feet. Nice running back elbow. Lynn dragging Sabu mid of the ring now, dropping an elbow right in the spine of Sabu. I'd be interested if these two guys do stick to the ring, because they are both very good in-ring competitors. They don't necessarily need weapons. I think Sabu, of course, has more of a hardcore background than Jerry Lynn does, but yeah, they're both very good wrestlers as they are without the use of weaponry. But of course, yeah. Sabu is I was discussing this with PJ Toby earlier, you know. There's me and PJ went to see Sabu in the UK about 2 or 3 years ago now. And I'm not sure how I felt about it. On one side I got to meet him, have a picture taken with him. I got him to sign my original ECW boxed figure of Sabu, which was pretty cool. But on the other side of him, watching him in the ring, it was a little bit sad to see a man who was such an icon back in the day, but he just didn't look like he was him anymore. He looked like he was really struggling, and he looked like he wasn't enjoying his time in the ring, but he was doing it because that was his main source of revenue, and that's what he had to do to make ends meet. I don't know, I might be completely wrong, but I wasn't sure how I felt about it. And same thing happened a few months after that. We went to see another show which had Ultimo Dragon. And Ultimo Dragon was at the show. It was amazing. Again, I got another signed. I got a signed boxed imported figure from Japan, from Ultimo Dragon, which was pretty cool. Which cost me 40 quid, by the way. But he was there. He stood in the apron the entire match. Got a tag in, hit one Asai moonsault, tagged somebody else who pinned and got the win. So literally they flew this guy over from Japan to compete in the show. And he just got barely anything to it. And again, I don't know whether I would... I've always said to whenever I've gone to wrestling shows, especially with PJ Toby, I've always said that I would prefer to go and see the young up-and-comers any day. I'd rather go and see the likes of the Young Bucks, or they've got the Southside Wrestling, the show I went to a few times. They've got Phoenix and Drago booked for their Phoenix and Pentagon booked for their next show, as well as Abyss and Vader Scott, I think it is, the Ring of Honor female. They got quite a few big names, and I've always said I'd much rather go and see them than I would go and see a legend, because for me the legends just, it's just difficult to watch them sometimes. You want to remember these people how they are rather than how they are now. How they were, not how they are, that's the phrase I'm looking for. You want to imagine these guys in the height of their career doing the amazing things they were doing. And it's a little bit the same, I'm going to get hate for this, a little bit the same with the Hardys for me. The Hardy Boys now compared to what they used to be are just not the same. You watch them now, you watch a full match that goes a decent amount of time, and they really struggle. Really, really struggle. Jeff looks like he can't get through a match now without at least a gram of coke in his body. He really struggles now. Referee counting here. Now this is not like the last one. This is an actual proper wrestling match. There is countouts. There is disqualifications in this one. Referee's at 7. Is Jerry Lynn going to get Sabu back in the ring here? We're going to have a double countout. He's going to bugger it up here, Jerry, isn't he? No, he's going back in the ring. Jerry get back in the ring? He does. No double countouts here for people. We are going normal. Jerry Lynn taking Sabu up into a air raid slam. There's the pin by Jerry Lynn. 1, 2, and it's only a 2 count. Sabu kicked out on the brink of 3. Yeah, I don't know what you think. Same sort of thing as me, or... Yeah, I just think it's a little bit sad sometimes to see how some of our heroes have fallen, I suppose. Would you... It's exactly what I explained Goldberg to be. It would have been much better for me to remember Goldberg as he was when he was in that legendary run back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But now I've got my memory ruined by his recent WWE run. Whereas if done right, his recent WWE run could have worked if done right, but it wasn't done right. And it ended up being very disappointing. And yeah, that's just how it went for me. It's the same in a lot of different things. It happens in all different sports. Sometimes it's best to leave and always leave them wanting a little bit more rather than coming back and leaving them not wanting anything else. Because I don't think anyone would necessarily be that excited now if Goldberg returned. I don't know, it's a tricky one. When you've got that legendary status, you just don't want to waste it. You see people like who's done it? Who's a prime example of someone who's done... Someone who's left WWE and then tried to relive their twilight years and the likes of TNA and that sort of stuff, and it's not worked out for them. It's happened a few times, I'm sure it has, but probably to people that are not even worth naming, are they really? Sabu heads over the top. Springboard leg drop. It's real Sabu. Vintage Sabu there, in the words of Michael Cole. It would be awesome if we got an ECW expansion pack for 2K18. I know it's not going to happen, but... Saying this, I'm recording this a little bit ahead of time to make sure I've got enough time to do all the Shabby Manias and that, so by now they could have announced the DLC and I wouldn't even know. Hopefully by now they would have announced the DLC because the game comes out in a couple of weeks. Pin here by Jerry Lynn, but he took a little bit of time taunting the Remy. He should go for the pin straight away. It doesn't matter, he got the win. So Jerry Lynn gets the 3 count, and Jerry Lynn's going to take this nice 10 ranking points for, of course, winning a singles match in the main event and take it into Shabby Mania with him when he faces off against Rob Van Dam and Sabu once again. But this time, should we go table or should we go TLC? I reckon TLC might be the best bet, actually. Let's go TLC. Yeah, there we go. We're changing the Shabby Mania card as we go. It's the best way forward. Keep building, keep adapting, all that good stuff. So Jerry Lynn is victorious in our last episode, the last main event of the last episode of SWE. That's not going to be a big pay-per-view, of course. I don't know why I keep saying that, because it just confuses everyone, doesn't it? The last episode of Season 2 from the Carnage Arena. All we've got left for you now then is the 5 Shabby Manias. Of course, they'll be split into 2 videos per day, starting on the 29th with Shabby Mania Mayhem. And then, of course, after the Shabby Manias, we'll know who all our champions are going to be to start 2K18 off. We will also then do a Royal Rumble from each brand. The winner will stay on that brand for 2K18 as well. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you all in a couple of days' time for the beginning of the showcase of the Immortals here in SWE. Shabby Mania. Bye.